The circus is in town and Magic Grandpa and Fruit and Nuts are back.
Hi, how you doing? We're back and we're ready for it all over again.
Tell you what, I don't know if I'm ready for it all over again, Jeremy, but shall we just jump straight into it?
Some will say that the decision to adopt the collective leadership model is a win for me. It is not. It is your win. It is you, the members, who have won.
Yeah, well, it kind of is, isn't it, Zara? Because Corbyn's allies briefed time and time again that they only wanted a single leader, him. You know, the bloke that people in this country have actually heard of. Not so much, Sultana, perhaps. It's also alleged that Sultana declared herself co-leader against Corbyn's wishes, with reports suggesting he had never agreed to co-lead anything with Sultana way back when.
But before we move forward, we have to confront what took place yesterday. The expulsions, the bans, the censorship on conference floor are unacceptable. It's undemocratic. It's an attack on members and this movement. And those decisions were made at the top, not by you.
I wonder who's at the top of your party. Might it be Corbyn's allies and team trying to keep out alleged infiltration by the communist group Socialist Unity Platform, who allegedly back Sultana? That was revealed by The Telegraph. Oh, I guess we'll just never know, eh?
These actions come straight out of the Labour Rights Handbook, the same playbook we have all lived through for years. The witch hunts, the smears, the intimidation, the bullying, the legal threats and the leaks to the Murdoch press. Let me be absolutely clear. The members will not stand for this. The movement will not stand for this. And I will not stand for this.
That's all very interesting, isn't it? Sultana mentions threats and the Labour Party. Might she be referring to the legal threats made of the allegation of the donation scandal? Well, Sultana's team set up an independent portal that raised 800 grand in donations and collected member data. That too was met by outrage with Corbyn's team and allies, accusing Sultana of a unilateral coup in a, well, and that's still ongoing, isn't it? Somewhat ongoing amongst the lot of them. And
this country is rigged to serve the rich and powerful who bought and paid for it. And we plan on beating them before they lead us into fascism to protect their own wealth and power.
Ah, well, she thinks we're headed to fascism because of wealthy people. Well, do you know what? I'd argue we're headed to fascism because of the far left and Islamist sectarians who, frankly, seem to run our streets and get away with chanting things like jihad and intifada and from the river to the sea. And on that specific point, should I say, what would this conference be without this?
And stand with the Palestinian people until every inch of their land is free, from the river to the sea, a single democratic state with equal rights for all. And we must ensure there is a day of reckoning for those who have enabled genocide: Keir Starmer, David Lammy, Shabana Mahmood, and all responsible.
Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear the genocidal call to basically eliminate Israel from the face of the world map, which is my interpretation of that statement, it sends shivers down my spine. Don't know about you at home. It's very reminiscent of 1930s Germany, in my opinion.
That's our money that provided him housing. That's our money that defended him in court. That's our money that put food on his table. Well, not anymore. We shouldn't just abolish Andrew's titles. We should abolish the monarchy itself.
Right, so Keir Starmer and David Lammy go to The Hague, remove the royal family, wipe Israel off the face of the map. I don't know what to say, really. It's all so bonkers and out of touch, isn't it?
Any of us, if you come for the pensioners among us, the disabled among us, the immigrants among us, the queer and trans among us, if you come for any of us, you will have to fight all of us.
Yes, there's an interesting mention of queer and trans there. Many people think queer's a slur, by the way, but obviously she doesn't think so. The reason why I talk about trans, because that is the alleged reason why one of your party MPs has already quit the party, allegedly. Anyway, look. I could go on and on and on. There was so much material, I could have written a Little Britain comedy sketch out of all of this, but the reality is that this party is already doomed. It's lost 2 MPs before its first conference. Its co-founders are fighting on and on and on. There's a background war between Sultana and Corbyn's teams, let alone a sheer lack of a stable and shared ideology. Even Sultana was boycotting the first day of her own conference. This is a circus. This is a total shambles. So I'm asking, do you really think your party is a threat to anyone, or will it simply continue to self-destruct?
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private Internet Access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cybercriminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private Internet Access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GB News discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GB News to start protecting yourself digitally today.
Let's get the thoughts of my brilliant panel, journalist and broadcaster Linda Jubilee, Labour councillor Sebastian Salek, and businessman and activist Adam Brooks. Adam, I'll start with you. I mean, having to sit through and endure that speech was it was quite painful for me. I had to eat some fruit and nut cake afterwards just to calm myself down. What did you make of it?
Look, people always go on about the threat of the so-called far right in this country. We have headlines on headlines in national newspapers. What about the threat of the far left? This is an extremist party that is made up of a collection of Karl Marx, trans, and open borders, and what else have we got there? Gaza. Groupies, really. It's an abomination of a party. I cannot believe it's actually sanctioned. And to watch them tear each other apart, no one's going to vote for them. Anyone with a brain is never going to vote for these. But they're dangerous. They are an extreme left party. And people need to highlight that, because anyone that thinks the Greens are extreme, which I do, I think they're a clown show. These are the Greens on steroids. Your party is a threat and it needs to be called out. I mean, this is just a circus, and to watch it, again, I'll say it, anyone that votes for your party needs their head tested.
All right, Linda, over to you.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think that you've just said anyone that votes for your party needs their head read. And that's true. And that's why I don't really see them as a threat, because I think they have not formed a vision. They've not crystallised their story. They couldn't even make up their mind on a name for months. They found a name which I think is totally ridiculous. And you cannot rule a political party by committee. So I think they're going to wither on the vine. But I do think that the Green Party is consequential. I mean, if you talk to younger people, and I've got 3 adult children, and you find out what they want to get behind, at the moment, it is the Green Party. So the point is, listen to why they support the Green Party and start learning from it. That might be an idea for political parties going forward, because both, or the big major parties now, not so much the Lib Dems, they've got a really big problem recruiting younger people.
They certainly do. Sebastian, I mean, listen, Adam's got a point. I'm being a little bit jovial about it because I do think the vast amount of the context of what was said in that speech was just completely and utterly bonkers, well outside of public opinion, wouldn't get a single vote, or at least any sensible person wouldn't vote for them. But there is an audience. There's an audience, 20,000 people at that conference. So what worries me, Sebastian, is when you hear things like essentially statements that I think sound genocidal in their ideology, where we want there to basically be a Palestine from the river to the sea, which I think means getting rid of Israel, which I think is an attack on Jews personally. Do you think there's some danger in this kind of rhetoric?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly wouldn't repeat that claim. I wouldn't stand by it at all, for the reasons that you outlined. I think that is an affront to the Israeli people. What strikes me here is that it's a very competitive space, the far left, at the moment. There is a real opportunity, but there is also in the Green Party, as you say, Linda, in its ascendancy. And really only one party can win out. You can't have both of those going in and competing against each other. So if your party want to get anywhere, they really have to get their act together. The problem is...
Yeah, but they're not, are they?
Well, no, they're not. And the problem is they are going for this consensus model, which is great on paper. It sounds really collaborative.
Yeah.
But sometimes with political parties, you just need somebody to make a decision.
Look, they're not running a supermarket. It's not a cooperative. They have to have a leader. They have to have a strategic vision, and they have to have a leader.
Yeah.
And they're showing no signs of understanding that at all. And that's why I say, and I'm no particular fan of Zach Polanski. I'm no particular fan, but he could be consequential, and we need to pay attention to that.
When it comes to Corbyn, what's quite funny is this was really his idea. Now they voted for this collective leadership, which Sultana claims doesn't benefit her. Well, it does, because actually Corbyn wanted this to be a single man-led party, which was him, who is the household name. It feels like there's a little bit of sometimes narcissism in these small parties, people attaching themselves and leeching themselves on and constantly getting ahead of press releases so they make sure that they're involved, even if the parties don't want them to be.
Let's remember, there's very few superstar politicians with huge followings in this country.
Yep.
You had Boris, you've got Nigel. I don't like to say it, but Corbyn has got a young following that are obsessed with him. He would get 5% in the polls with whatever he set up, because these are young communists, Marxists, Gaza-obsessed groups that see this as a trendy way forward. So it's all about Corbyn. Whatever she says, Sultana, it doesn't matter. He is the man, Corbyn.
Yeah.
But
because he's seen as a conviction politician by youngsters, and that's really important.
Well, it's a trendy thing to support Corbyn, like it is about going on these Palestine marches.
Whether I don't agree with Jeremy Corbyn on anything. However, he has been in Parliament for a very long time, and he has been known for standing up for his values, which I have respect for, even if I don't like what he has to say.
He led a Labour Party that was found guilty of anti-Semitism.
That's very true.
That is going to follow him his whole life.
Very, very brief final word from you, Sebastian.
Yeah, do you know what? I would push back slightly, because I think Zarah Sultana does have a big following as well. What would be sensible would be her to be leader, Corbyn to be chairman, him to slowly phase out. He's old, he's going to want to stop at some point, hand the baton over. But it's not going to happen.
No,
that's far too sensible.
Yeah, it is indeed. Well, look, it's fair to say that Zarah Sultana and your party have had, an interesting couple of days, but the former Labour MP's speech earlier today went down well with her supporters in the room. Check this out.
Just a few months, we have built something no one in Westminster believed was possible: a mass, democratic, working class movement. The largest socialist party in the UK since the 1940s. Prices go up on your weekly shop. Supermarket bosses are pocketing that and then buying politicians. When your rents soar, landlords use your cash to lobby MPs so their interests are protected. When the seas rise and our towns flood, energy bosses buy another private jet while we all pay the price. The billionaires buy up our newspapers, our social media platforms, our TV channels to gaslighting us into blaming our neighbours for the mess. They want you angry, just not at them. Our message to our friends and our neighbours is, if you want to know why your life is getting harder and why everything keeps getting worse, know that the people who control your food, your home, your energy and your media, they are sending billions of your hard-earned money to the Cayman Islands, and they've got 3 political parties, Labour, the Conservatives and Reform, all sewn up.